Alright, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to be doing another Fire Emblem Three Houses character tier list, but today there will be a topic at hand. Today's topic is good hang or bad hang. Now there's a few categories. You have the best hang. So I'm going to only pick one character for best hang. So like they're like the ultra like best friend kind of hang, right? Then you got the great hangs. You got the I can hang out with them, but it's gonna be like a kind of like a like an occasional bar, hang out at a bar kind of thing. You got the meh, or they're maybe they were brought by like a different person, and you're like okay with them being there, but you're not really gonna strike up much of a conversation with them. Then you have like a not fun hang, so like party suckers or people you just rather not see, and then stay away from me hang. So we got pretty much all the main protagonist characters. And is Gerald on here? Yeah, Gerald's not on here. Okay, well that's okay. So you got all the main playable characters except Sothis, who's the only not playable. Actually, Andrea, now that I think about it. But everyone else is playable. So we're just gonna run through it, and honestly, I have like nothing in mind. I'm just gonna run through it and see what happens, and see if what I say makes sense. And if it doesn't, then that's fine. I'll just get roasted in the comments. So let's start. I think this is actually in alphabetical order, which is kind of convenient. So at first we have Alois. Now here's the thing with Alois, right? He's literally a dad. That's his character. He's got dad jokes. He's like a little too enthusiastic too. Like I feel like he's the kind of person where if somebody brings him, I'm okay with it, but I don't really know if I would like enjoy hanging out with him. Anna, I think, is a okay hang, and my reasoning is because I think if like let's say me and her are going for like a drink or something, right? We're getting some tea, we're gonna have a tea party. I feel like picking her brain and getting some advice from her could be like super useful. As long as she's not trying to sell anything on you and you fall for it, I think that's like she's like perfect to like pick the brain of, be like she's good with finances. So do you got any tips for me? Kind of, that's the energy I get from Anna. Otherwise, I feel like, she's not the best or great because I feel like she might try to sell me some shit, or like there's a good chance I'll ask for like information or like help with something, and she'll be like, "Sure, but it's going to cost you like a pretty penny." And I'm like, "Well, shit. I'm not that rich. I'm not rich at all, actually." Anyway, Annette I think is a great hang. She's just a sweetheart. She might even like bake something, bring it with her, get some cookies, if it's like a nice little house hangout kind of deal. Super nice, easy to talk to. I think she's great. I feel like Ash is too good of a boy. So I don't think he'll be fun. And the reason is I feel like, if you start doing something you're not supposed to, he'd be the motherfucker to like speak up and be like, "Isn't that illegal?" Like, nah, get the hell out of here. No one asked for a party pooper. So Ash is just Ash is a no-go for me. Balthus is, I think Balthus is like an Anna kind of hangout, because I feel like Balthus is like one of those people who'd be like, "Yeah, let's go out, have a really good drinking time," and like you'd be there for hours, you'd have several drinks, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I can't afford any of this. You're gonna have to pay for me," and depending on how much money I have, like, ooh, that could be rough. So just because of that, his money financials issues, I would say okay. If he didn't have that, I think he'd be great. But the financial issues, I think, would definitely come in and just ruin the time. Like, I'd have a great time until he brought up the fact that I'd pay for it all, and then I'd be like, yikes, never mind, not inviting you ever again. Bernadetta, I don't want to say stay away from me, because that's not fair. Because if anything, she would run away from me. So it's kind of like I would say not fun, because she just would never be present. I think Violet is an okay hang. I'm not going to put both Violets. It's fine. I'll just put them next to each other. I think they're just, they're like quiet, right? So like they'd be the kind of people to like hang out in the corner until somebody makes them do something, and then they just do it. So I think they'd be okay, because they're not really going to be in the way or anything. They're just going to kind of be there. And, like, because, you know, they talk a little bit. I feel like they're perfect if you want to, like, just rant about, like, I don't know, work or something, you know? Caspar, I think, would be annoying as fuck, because he's loud, and he'd probably just want to, like, fight me the entire, like, time. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, chief. I think Catherine be a pretty okay hang. I think, you know what, let me change this to good hang. I think she'd be good because I feel like she'd be fine, but I don't know if, like, she'd be as interesting to me to, like, hang out with. Claude, it's either the best or, like, great. I feel like Claude would be a really fun time. I'll decide best after we figure out everyone else's placements. I think Claude would be a great time. He seems like he would just be, like, a shit ton of fun to hang out with, and just, like, I feel like the entire time me and him would just be taking jabs at each other. Like, we just make fun of each other, just go after each other's, like, egos and shit. We just destroy each other. And then we wouldn't care at the end of the day, because we would just be drunk and probably forget all of it, so... I think he'd be just a great hang. Constance, I think, would be a meh hang. Like, if somebody brought her, I'd be like, alright. Especially, like, if she's drunk. Actually, I feel like, she's kind of in the middle between these two. Because I feel like she could be really, really annoying in a hangout. Because she'd always make it about her, and it's just like, alright, I mean, it's fine, I get. I'm gonna say not fun. Despite really liking Constance is what I meant to say. I genuinely feel like hanging out with her in, like, a nice, like, party or a bar, I feel like would probably be a little miserable. Because I feel like she'd just constantly be talking about herself. Cyril is just boring. I don't find Cyril an interesting person, so I just don't think he would just be... I think he's just not fun. Dimitri is good. I think he's too civil, but I feel like once you give him a beer, I feel like he'd just be, like, all over the place. I feel like he's got that, like, you know, I can handle a drink kind of energy, and, like, I'll be just, like, straight with you, and, like, you won't even tell I'm drunk, but then he'd have, like, a glass and a half, and he'd be, like, the biggest, like, party animal. That's just the Dimitri vibe I get. Dorothea would be great. Dorothea just has, like, I think Dorothea's just so well-rounded, where I feel like she could probably hang out with anybody and probably be able to, like, just have fun and just find a way to enjoy, like, even if she doesn't like you, I feel like she'd still find a way to have fun, like she does with Ferdinand. She'd just find a way to have fun, and I feel like I feel like it's, like, a similar Claude thing, where I feel like the entire time me and her would just be taking jabs at each other. We would just be shitting on each other the entire time while drinking and then laughing at each other. Dedu, I think Dedu would be not fun because I think he's too professional. I feel like he'd get, like, a glass of beer and just take baby sips, and, like, by the end of the night he just finished, like, one beer. I think Edelgard is a meh hang. I think Edelgard is a 50-50. She either would be really fun in a party or she'd be miserable. Because she would just be, like, self-righteous or something. Or she'd just be, like, all over the place. So I'd give her, like, a 50-50. Felix, I would also give a 50-50 to. Although he kind of gives me, like, a slightly better Caspar kind of energy. Where I feel like he wouldn't want to fight me the other time, but there's a good chance he might bring it up, right? Ferdinand von Ayer is a constant situation where I feel like he'd just make it about him the entire time. Flame... I think Flame would be like the little sister take care of me after the hangover kind of situation. I think she'd be great to have just in case somebody needs to, like, take me home so I don't, like, die. I think she'd just be perfect for that. She'd, like, make sure I don't do anything I shouldn't. So I would just bring her even if she shouldn't be drinking. Although, you know, she is technically overaged. But, I mean, I feel like she'd probably take care of me, you know, at the end of the day. Even if she was drunk off her ass, she'd probably still end up taking care of me anyway. Gilbert is probably a meh hang. I think he kind of is a 50-50 scenario, too. I think Hanneman would just chat my ear off the entire time. And depending on what kind of mood I'm in, that could be good or bad. So I'd probably give him good. Happy would be great. I feel like she'd just be fun. She gives me like fun energy. I think she'd just chill out, and she would just like drink, and we would just like chat about how shitty people are or something. I don't know, whatever she wants to talk about. I let her control this conversation because she'd probably handle it better than I would. So I feel like she would just be fun. I don't know if we would do anything crazy or anything, or just like it would be like ultra interesting. I don't know if she'd be interesting drunk or anything, but I feel like she'd be like just a fun time, because it would just be like drinking and just chatting. It would just be like a chat talking about like how hard like she doesn't like the church, and I'd be like, yeah man, fuck the church, am I right? And it'd just be like, I don't know, I just think it'd be fun. Speaking of fun, I think Hilda would be a great time. Now obviously if you watched my last tier list, you know that these are like my 3 favorite characters besides Byleth. These are my 3 favorite characters, so there definitely is probably some bias here, but I feel like Hilda just comes off like a party animal. Like I feel like as soon as she's drunk, she's just gonna be all over the damn place, and you're like, it's gonna be like she's like one of those people where like you'll drink a lot, but then like Hilda will get into some shit and you'll like silver up just out of nowhere, just to make sure she doesn't do anything, like fucking piss on a cop or something, you know. You just be like, wait, nope, don't do that, that's a bad idea, and then you would just like pull her away from the situation, and then you would just like go right back into drunk mode. But like the stories out of it, you know, I feel like Hilda would be perfect for like post party stories where you just be like, yeah, and Hilda did this shit where she like squatted and like stomped on the cake and then threw it all over the place, you know. It was crazy. Poor guy had to clean up the walls afterwards, man. Glad that shit wasn't me. Hubert would be annoying, because I feel like if Edelgard and Hubert in the same party and Edelgard's trying to have fun, Hubert's just not gonna let that happen. So honestly, I'm doing Edelgard a favor here. Just stay away from me. Not even me. Stay away from her, you know. I feel like she needs to let loose. Ignatz, I feel like Ignatz is the type of person to sit in the corner and just not do anything. And I mean, that's fine. I'm probably in real life, I'm probably one of those people. But like, I don't know. I would just give him good, because I feel like, you know, if you want to stay, like, get away from like the big, like, gathering and stuff, I feel like Ignatz is perfect, because you just kind of like walk away from it all and then just chat to him, and it'd just be like a nice calm conversation. I feel like she'd be good, because I feel like she would just why am I blanking on her name right now? It's not, no, that's not her name. What the Ingrid. There we go. I feel like she'd be perfect, because I feel like she'd just take the role, kind of like Flane. I feel like she'd just like take the role of like not caregiver, like make sure you don't get into like some shit you shouldn't kind of territory. But she would also just kind of like, I don't know, she'd like drink like 1 or 2 glasses, and then she'd probably just like be like, all right, I'm done. I can respect it. And she'd just watch over it, you know, whoever she's with kind of scenario. I think she'd be good. Probably not. I don't really want to touch on him. I feel like he just would be not a great time. I feel like he would drink like 8 glasses of beer and somehow still be the same. Like he didn't drink at all kind of thing. He'd just be perfectly fine. I feel like she would just be a really unfun time, because I feel like she would. I feel like if she was drunk, I feel like she'd somehow be more annoying. Where she'd just be like, Captain Gerald is like, oh, I love him, and I wish he was my dad, and you'd be like, okay, that's you know, that's a bit much, but all right. And then she'd like try to fight you just so she can like assert dominance, and you're just like, nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good on this one. Yeah. Okay, let's be real. I love Linhard. You probably like Linhard, right? I mean, Linhard's a pretty likable dude. He would be awful in a party, because he would have like drink 1 glass of beer, maybe even half of it, and he'd be like out cold. He'd be sleeping. I feel like, speaking of annoying as hell, I would probably say Lawrence is like an annoying person to take to like a party, because I feel like he's annoying, then he'd drink, and then he'd just be more annoying. He would just be like kind of like Constance, but I feel like Constance, you know, if you're in the sun, you know, maybe she'd be kind of entertaining. But like Lawrence is already like kind of like a self-righteous asshole. Like, I feel like you give him drinks and he'd just be more of a self-righteous asshole. I'm gonna say stay away from me because she's underage. I mean, a lot of them are, but like, she's like super underage. I ain't taking the chance on that one. Also, I don't know if she would be fun. Okay, minus her age, I feel like she's like a 50-50. Minus the age. I'm gonna just ignore ages because I feel like, you know, you could just go like post time skip and then they're all legal. So I'm gonna just say meh, just for the 50-50 scenario. Manuela, I feel like she'd just get ultra sexual when she's drunk. You know, like she would like be very unsubtle about everything, you know? So I guess it just kind of depends what mood you're in that day. I'll just say good. I don't want to say 50-50 because I feel like I kind of know what to expect from her. So she's kind of like, eh. I think marrying Anne drunk would be great because I feel like she'd just let loose. I feel like she'd just let loose and you just wouldn't know what comes out of her face, you know? She'd just say some weird shit and you'd be like, alright, yeah, I guess, you know? Checks out. Like, you just wouldn't expect to hear it from her. She'd just be like, yeah, I hate them bitches in school. And be like, whoa, Marianne. I mean, you're right, but like, shit. Mercedes is too sweet. I feel like if it's like a tea party scenario, I think Mercedes is perfect. If it's like alcohol, I feel like Mercedes is a 50-50. So I'm going to say good. I think Petra is probably a great hang. I feel like she'd just be kind of funny. Because she already can't speak English, right? Not extremely well. Imagine drunk. Like, nothing would make sense from her. Like, people when they're drunk don't make sense as it is. Could you imagine not understanding the language, too? Like, I'd just be like, what? What? Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess, yeah. Yeah, Petra. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Horses do go boom. I agree. Why am I blanking on his name? Raphael. That's it. Raphael, I mean, I don't like him as a character, but I'm trying to think, like, would he be okay in, like, a drinking tea party scenario? I think drinking, I give him a 50-50. I feel like he could be really annoying drunk, or he could be really funny drunk. He's like a 50-50 scenario to me. Rhea, I think Rhea is too pure to be fun. I feel like the entire time I'd be like on my third glass of beer and she'd be like, you sure? Like, she'd take like a mother kind of role. She'd be like, you sure you can handle a third glass? I'd be like, bitch, I'm paying for it. Shut up. Let me drink. I had a bad day. I feel like, but maybe like drunk, she could be entertaining. You know, pick her brain kind of thing, you know? I think it's like a 50. I think tea party should be good. I think tea party should be good. Drunk is like a 50-50. Or at a bar should be 50-50. I give her 50-50. I'll give her the higher end of 50-50 though. There you go. That seems right. Sedith is... I think Sedith gives me the same feelings I have with Gilbert. I feel like he's a 50-50. But like, he to me, he leans more towards probably not a good time. Because I feel like he'd just be like... Especially if Flane's there, he'd just be kind of like annoying. Because Flane would be trying to have fun, and Sedith would be like, don't do that. And be like, well, shit, alright. Sothis would be a blast. Sothis would be... you can't convince me. Drunk Sothis would not be fucking great to hang out with. I feel like Sothis is already like someone I could probably just talk to, because she's like, I don't know, sassy. I like that shit. But I feel like drunk should be even worse, and I'd live for it. You know what I mean? I think she'd be... Why the hell do I keep forgetting, like, names of characters I actually like right now? What the hell is her name? I've been forgetting so many names, and I like this character, and I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. What the hell? What the hell is her name? I really don't want to look it up, because it's, like, admitting defeat. Catherine. Oh my god, why? Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? Shamir. Oh, Shamir. Shamir would... I hate that I just keep forgetting names. Shamir, I think, would be a great time, actually. I think Shamir drunk would be fun. Because, like, I feel like she's not, like, ultra, like, strict or, like, ultra prideful or anything. But I feel like she kind of puts up a layer, and I feel like drunk, she'd just, like, totally tear that wall down. And she'd just be, like, all over the place. Kind of the same way, I think, Marianne, a little bit. I feel like she just... Once that wall is down, you don't know what the hell's going to come from her anymore. She probably has some wild-ass stories, too, that she probably doesn't want to tell. But if she's drunk, then that filter might just disappear. I am, like, really forgetting names right now. I guess maybe I'm just really tired. I don't know. Why am I blanking on your name? I like it. Sylvain. There we go. That one I remembered faster. I think he'd be like honestly like a really good hangout. Especially if you're at a bar trying to pick up girls. I mean, who better, right? Because I feel like drunk, he probably has better moves. I feel like Sylvain might have better moves if he's drunk. Because, like, I don't know. Especially because, you know, I feel like if everyone is drunk, I feel like everyone is just way easier to talk to. So I feel like you could probably break down the layers a lot faster. And Sylvain is all about breaking that wall down as fast as he can. Yuri is a Claude situation. I think Yuri would be goddamn fun as hell. Where I feel like it would just be me and him just chatting shit the entire time. So basically take everything I said about Claude, put that on Yuri, except a little less, because I think Claude would still be more fun. Now, who is my favorite hangout? Now, I'm actually going to cheat, right? Because to me, in my experience, I feel like hanging out with... I don't know, because... I kind of want to cheat a little bit. I think Claude is probably my favorite. And then I feel like Hilda would be a really good time too. I feel like Hilda would be like a ditz drunk, and I kind of live for it. I kind of want to see it, you know, Hilda being like a dumbass while she's being drunk off her ass. I don't know. I kind of live for it. And then Claude, I feel like Claude would just be probably the most fun I would have with a Three Houses character if they were drunk. I don't know. I just get that, like, he like, me and him would just shit on each other the entire night. It would just be such a great time. We just shit on each other and talk about, like, life experiences of junk. And then we just shit on each other more. And then we just go home. And we wouldn't give a shit, because we'd just be like, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. And then Hilda would just be, I think, like, the stories that would come from drunk Hilda would just be great. The amount of stories I could go back to the monastery into the classroom and be like, Violet, you won't believe what Hilda did yesterday. Like, that's the feeling I get from Hilda, man. I feel like she'd just be fun as hell drunk. So I kind of cheated because I said I would only pick one, but I'm gonna cheat and pick two. Because I feel like I picked them for two different reasons. One, I think would just be way funnier, and the stories that would come from it would just be great. And then I feel like I would just be more comfortable hanging out with Claude because it would just be shitting on each other. It'd be great. It'd be like a general bro hangout. Drunk with the boys kind of scenario. Yeah. There you go. That's my tier list. I don't get me wrong. There's a few characters I put low that I genuinely would like to hang out with, but I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm thinking mostly in a bar scenario, and therefore I don't think these three specifically would be fun drunk. I think Edelgard's a 50-50, and I think Lysithea is also 50-50. Rhea I lean towards probably not fun. Rhea, I think, would probably be not a good time drunk. Because I feel like somehow she would not feel it at all. But there you go. That's my tier list. Kind of ran through it. Didn't really explain too much, but I feel like there isn't too much. I feel like it's such a bare bones explanation that I need to give. But yeah, there you go. That's the tier list for you. Subscribe for more bullshit that I'll come up with, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.